guys, we're back for another exciting episode of the hashtag Wednesday Match Play presented by Eat Sleep Golf. And I am pumped for tonight's show because this guy comes from GolfAdvisor, right? Like in the past, we had Brandon Tucker from GolfAdvisor on the show. Mike Bailey and I have a good relationship. He was at Tiburon about a year and a half ago playing on a fam trip. And this is a little different of an angle. So we're stepping out of the corporate office a little bit into a guy that plays probably as much golf as anybody. So tonight's episode, as always, is presented by Eat Sleep Golf. And this is going to be a fun conversation because we're going to talk about golf. Like this guy's played, we're going to get to this, but he just had a trip to Florida where he flew down from Virginia, played 2 rounds of golf, and then flew home. Yeah, I can barely play a round of golf in a day driving to the golf course. So we'll talk about that. And I could talk a little bit more about what he does with GolfAdvisor. He's got a lot of things going on, a lot of irons in the fire, but I'm going to welcome him to the show and let him give us an overview of what he does. So welcome to the hashtag Wednesday Match Play.
Thanks for having me, Ricky. Really happy to be here.
Well, you and I first connected on Twitter, right? And that's where we kind of got started talking. And I was like, dude, you should come on the show. Like, you're pretty dialed in with GolfAdvisor. You play a lot of great golf courses, and it's excited to have you on. I'm looking forward to getting to know a little bit more about what your role is with GolfAdvisor. So just do that. Let's start there. Give us an overview of what your role is, how you first got introduced to GolfAdvisor, and kind of what you're, as an official contributor to the publication and the website, kind of what's that look like for you?
Yeah, great question. So I started, first of all, I'm a local advisor for GolfAdvisor. I'm one of the Virginia advisors. And how I got introduced to GolfAdvisor, I've been playing a lot of golf, started playing golf in 2010, so fairly recent for me, but really got into the game hardcore and just really enjoyed traveling around and playing different courses. A lot of people like to play the same course over and over, and that's fun. I like to have a home course myself, but I also like to travel around and play a lot of different courses. So started doing that and really felt the need to share my experience of the course with others and with the course themselves. And GolfAdvisor, when it came reviews there, when it was prompting me on Golf Now, because they're sister company. And then last year I learned about the local advisor program, and I got really excited about that. It was something that I was really looking forward to in terms of maybe building my own little brand, but also helping others, because Virginia's not at the top of the list of destinations for golf, or, Florida, California, a lot of great places. But I feel like Virginia has a lot of great golf courses here, and I wanted to really share that. And I felt like being a local advisor through GolfAdvisor really helped me have a voice in that and give my thoughts on Virginia golf.
Okay, so local advisor, that's cool, right? And I lived in Scottsdale for 5 years. Now I'm in Naples, so like I'm going from one golf capital to the next, right? I mean, I hope my next job's not in like Madison, Wisconsin, where it snows for 8 months a year. But
where they also have great golf courses in Madison.
I'm sure they do. Yeah, I'm sure they do. How does somebody, like you found it, like you discovered it, right? How did you discover it? And kind of how does somebody that's at home watching say, hey, I want to do that? What's that process like to getting involved as a local advisor?
Yeah, so I found out about the program through the GolfAdvisor website, which I had gotten familiar with just, again, through booking my tee times through Golf Now. Anytime that you book a round through Golf Now, they usually prompt you a day or so after with an email just asking about your round, so you have the opportunity to go and share your thoughts on the round. And you do that through GolfAdvisor, and if you start perusing the website there, you learn about the local advisor program that they have. If you write enough reviews and they are of good quality and you attach a photo every now and then, they can nominate you to be a local advisor. If you play in the same area, they'll designate a specific area of your expertise, and they're definitely looking for more of those in a lot of areas right now. So I know you guys have had Brandon Tucker on to talk about the growth that they are seeing with GolfAdvisor, and I know local advisors are a big part of that.
That's really cool, and I wish I had the time to do that. I just don't play a lot. I mean, I play a lot of golf courses, but my home course is Tiburon, obviously, and we've got 2 golf courses here, so it's like if I play one, and then the next week I want to play another one, but I got options, right? And then what's cool, to the point of playing the same golf course, I like to switch up the tees. So we've got 5 sets of tees on our gold course and 6 sets of tees on our black course. And I recently went out and played. We introduced a family tee. It's 39.95 yards, 4,000 yards. And I'm like, let's just see what that's like, right? And you still got to put the ball in the hole. I mean, granted, I play better because I'm hitting pitching wedge into par fives, but it was a different way, and I really enjoyed it. And
Yep.
it's rated, so I can put that into my handicap, and
Yep.
it was fun. So now, how many courses have you played over the years, and do you write a review for all of them? What's that look like for you?
Yeah, great question. So again, I got a little bit of a late start. I've only been playing about 9 years, and some years I get out more than others. And lately, been playing a lot. But I'm in pursuit of 100 courses right now. So I'm at 93. I've got 7 more to go to get to 100. I've tracked them all. I've rated them all. I'm a complete golf nerd when it comes to that. So most of them are here in Virginia. I've got about 67 here in Virginia, but up and down the East Coast, anywhere I can find a good deal, and I've got time for golf, I play.
So I'm just going to throw this out there because that's a good segue to your next question about your trip to Florida. Let's say courses 99 and 100 were the 2 golf courses at Tiburon. Would that be something you'd be willing to entertain?
Absolutely, yeah. I've been thinking about what I want for number 100. I'm from New Hampshire originally, so I was thinking maybe something sentimental like up there in New Hampshire where I started, but I didn't really start playing golf there because I've been down in Virginia for a long time. But maybe a memorable place, and again, Tiburon would be a good option there. So if you're inviting me, I'm looking for a flight now.
Talk offline. That could be a cool marketing opportunity.
Yeah.
And we do the black course for 99 because the gold course, which hosts both the LPGA Tour and the PGA Tour annually. I mean, how cool would that be to play on a PGA Tour course to be your 100th? Like, oh my gosh! From a marketing guy, I'm just all about that. So let's talk about that.
All right, awesome. Really, I like cool.
So you recently took a trip to Florida.
I did,
you told me before we went live what happened. You flew down, you played 36 holes, and then you flew home. That's an aggressive day. Talk a little bit about that trip and kind of what that trip, where you played, and what that looked like.
Yeah, so the idea for it started when I recently moved to the Richmond area. Again, I've been in Virginia for about 10 years, but just recently moved to Richmond. And when I got here, I start looking up flights because JetBlue has direct flights to Fort Lauderdale, and they were pretty cheap. It was less than $170 round trip, and 2 hours flight time there and back. And I'm starting to do the math here, and I'm like, okay, not only can I do this, but I can do this for a pretty insignificant cost. I mean, most people, when they do a golf trip, I mean, that's $500 to $1,000 depending on where they're going. If I can do this trip for $300, I mean, I think that's a great value, and that's kind of where my voice has found itself right now in writing the reviews and everything. I'm very much a value-based kind of golfer, and yeah, so I played 2 courses down there. The first one was a Donald Ross course, Hollywood Beach Golf Club, $25 in the morning. I mean, to play a Donald Ross course for $25 in the morning with a cart for 18 holes, I mean, that was a great deal. And then the afternoon course, I wanted to pamper myself a little bit, so I played Jacaranda course, the West course there, and beautiful conditions, really, really nice. Staff is amazing, $85, totally worth it. And yeah, ended up being just over $300 the whole trip together, and woke up at 4 a.m., went to bed at about 1:30, pretty tired, but it was really a memorable time. It was good.
That's really cool. Now, to your point about value, right? So Tiburon has rates, in season and out of season. Right now, we're entering shoulder season, so we are as high as 280 per player with a caddy, as low as 99 a player during the summer. Well, it doesn't always rain in the summer, like people seem to think. It rains a lot, but it doesn't always rain in the summer. So someone could come, and we have continuous play, same day based on availability. So if you teed off at 7:30 in the morning on a Wednesday or a Tuesday, a day that is slower traditionally, and it's the low season, and I mean you can potentially play 3 rounds of golf for $100. Like, so the value, and that would be an interesting thing to do too, to see if somebody could do that, because we're a 4 hour 15-minute pace of play. It'd be cool to see if somebody could get 3 rounds in for $100 when in season we're 280 a player for 1 round. So I love the idea of the value. So
I mean, I think I'm a pretty efficient golfer. My record is 4 rounds in one day. There is a course not far from here that does offer daily rates, and I picked one of those summer days where I had 16 hours of daylight and got there at 8 a.m. and powered through 4 rounds of golf. I was pretty tired at the end of that day too. So I'm always up for a play as much as you can. And it's like a golf buffet,
Golf buffet. I like that. I wonder who owns golfbuffet.com. That could be $1 million idea right there.
Let's get on it. Let's do
I
it.
love it. So when you're rating a course, like it's so funny because I've played a lot of golf, right? And working for Troon, I'm obviously getting, the ability to play some nicer courses, but I've also played the Goat Ranch down the street, that, the $25 course, and some of my most memorable rounds of golf were on courses where it was a 6-hour round and I was miserable and the course was in terrible shape, but it was the people I played with, right? So what comes into your reviews that you're looking at a golf course to be able to rate it high or low for that matter?
Yeah, that's a great question. And honestly, like most of my rounds, because I do travel around a lot at any moment's notice, most of my rounds are by myself. Obviously, I get paired up with some people from time to time, but it's easier for me to focus if I'm by myself, to just focus on the course itself. I'm not like a layout person. I'm not a design person. I couldn't tell you much about all the different designers and how they incorporate their different, how you see the brush of in their courses, but for me, it's really about the conditions of the course, and again, the value. Like, what are the conditions for what I'm paying for? And I've kind of, with the golf that I've played, I've kind of see the price brackets that a lot of courses fit into. And if there's a course that's in a price bracket that's below what the actual conditions and experience are, that's where you really find the best values in golf.
So that's interesting that you said that, because at Troon, obviously Troon prides itself on world-class playing conditions at all properties. And
yeah,
Tiburon, when I play it, sometimes I think to myself, because I've seen it at its peak right before, right after the tournaments, and it's not really that much different throughout the course of the year, to be completely honest. Like, in the middle of July, it looks as good as it does in the middle of December. And I played, I don't know, it's probably been 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I played with a guest, and they were just raving about the course conditions. And I'm thinking to myself, I've seen it better. Like, the water's down, and this is like, I'm nitpicky now because I play it all the time. And I'm thinking about those things. But, a hotel guest that's paying the $280 is still thinking it's the most unbelievable playing conditions. And they are. But well, that grass is a little less green than that grass, and we need to fix that. And our director of agronomy, Jeff Cathy, was actually named Troon's director of agronomy / superintendent of the year last year at our world conference. Like, we literally have the best superintendent in all of Troon cutting and growing our grass. And that's pretty cool. Yeah. And, to hear him talk about things, whether it's, bridge repair or, a sprinkler system or grass, or why we went with this grass versus that grass. And just, the guy is a mad scientist, and it's cool that, and I'm glad that you're looking at course conditions as much as layout. And Kelly Blake Moran has become a friend of mine. He's a course designer. I've only played one of his courses, and I actually had the chance to play it with him. It's a course down here in Naples, and it was so neat to stand on a tee box and him to be like, I was thinking about doing this, and I put the bunker here and the trees there, and I'm like, that's next level. And he just shared a blog post with me, and I encourage you, I should post it somewhere. He shared a blog post that he had written with me that he basically talked about walking, and that's what we were discussing, was walking golf courses. And he said that he'll go out and walk courses by himself just to think about what it's like to play the hole, thinking about where he's going to put things. And it's a different mindset, right? But that's cool that's what you're kind of putting into your reviews. Now, what's the most memorable course you've reviewed? Got anything that's just
my favorite course of all time, and it's probably the most memorable, is this past March. I got to play Tobacco Road, my first bucket list course. The most I've ever spent on golf. So as a value guy, it was a little hard to hand over the credit card for that greens fee, but it was so worth it. It's such an amazing course. The conditions were pretty good, for March. In this area of the country, the March-April timeframes were really tough because the warm grasses haven't started growing, and so you're just left with what's left over from the winter. But it was also my first caddy experience, so I'd never had a caddy before, and man, you feel like such a pro, when it's like you hit a shot, and whether it's good or bad, especially when it's good, and you just hand the club off and you start walking. There's really no other experience like that. So great staff there. My caddy, Will, was great. Really enjoyed my time there. So that's got to be the most memorable course for me for a while.
So you talk about bucket list, right? I never had a bucket list until I played the old course, and I didn't know that it was going to be like what it was. I don't know if you've been there, and if you haven't, literally put that top of your list. And I never blogged about it, and I can't really explain it. Like, it's a feeling, right? Like, we turn the corner and you see it, and it's like, oh my God. Like, it's nothing explains it. And now I've got a bucket list, right? So I'm thinking about all of these things I want to put on my bucket list. And I'm only 34, right? And I'm like, I'm running out of time. And So like next year, I want to go cage diving with great white sharks. Boom,
Yeah.
we're going to South Africa, and I'm going to go cage diving with great white sharks. I just want to do that, right?
Yeah.
This year we're going to Europe, and I want to drink. We're going to Islay, Scotland, because I want to drink Lafroig while standing on the cliffs looking out over the ocean.
Yeah.
We're gonna go do it. We're literally taking a day trip. You take a day trip to Florida. I'm taking a day trip to Scotland to drink scotch. So
that's awesome.
Go to the old course.
Yeah, that's definitely on my list. I would love to. I've got a friend that used to live in England, and he's promised me to take me over there. And he's not a golf guy, so I'm just going to drag him to St. Andrews. That's happening.
Make sure you get over to Fairmont St. Andrews. It's the only property in the home of golf. 36 holes. The GM there is a rock star, and the courses are awesome. Like,
awesome.
I can't even explain how good they are.
Yeah.
So I have been known to leave some negative reviews in my pad. I try to review every place I go on Google Maps. I'm a big Google Maps guy, and I'm a local guide level 7. And I recently left a very strong...
Humble brag. Hashtag humble brag.
Well, a little bit, yeah. All right, thank you. You're bragging about playing 36 holes in one day. Give me a little something here, right? Hashtag humble brag. I like that. So negative reviews have to happen. You have to play a course that's in terrible shape, that's just a bad experience all around. Do you leave negative reviews? And how do you do that with trying to not upset the facility that you just played?
Yeah, it's a great point. And, I watched your interview with Brandon Tucker, and it really helped me feel better about leaving reviews that aren't all rosy. Like it is tough. I'm self-conscious. Like I don't want to put something out there because my name's attached to it. And I don't want to put something out there that's unfairly negative. But at the same time, I also want to represent what I saw, what I felt. I don't want to write a review that's inaccurate and then someone go there based on that and then have a bad experience like I did and be like, why wasn't I, prepared for this? So, I just recently played a course here in the area. And again, I mentioned that conditions aren't very good here, but some courses are managing those better than others. And I went to one that just hadn't been managing the conditions at all. And it was pretty bad. And, I left a review and I rated it about as low as I will rate, a 2-star course. But it wasn't easy to do. But again, from your conversation with Brandon, like he wants us to leave that feedback so that the courses see, how we're seeing the course. And, I try to make my criticism constructive. I try to be understanding of weather conditions. If it's been really wet or really dry, I'd totally give them a pass for situations like that. But if it doesn't look like they're really putting the effort in, I know a lot of courses are strapped for cash right now. But especially if you're charging a full rate, you got to give me a full effort on the course. So I'm feeling more comfortable about being really, really accurate with what I'm seeing on the course and how I'm feeling I'm getting my money for. So.
Now, as a local advisor, are you getting any benefits? Like, do you get, preferred rates at courses? Do you tell them that when you're at the property? Do you get a little sticker next to your name, a little, a tag next to your name on GolfAdvisor that says that you're a local advisor? What's that like?
Well, I GolfAdvisor does send me swag every now and then, so I've got, my GolfAdvisor hat. So I try to wear that as much as possible, just in case somebody sees that and says something. I'm a little more sheepish about it. I'm not going to walk in and be like, "Hey, I'm from GolfAdvisor. What can you do for me?" But there are courses that show GolfAdvisor. Rate us on GolfAdvisor, so they're advertising for the site because they really take what the people that leave reviews on GolfAdvisor to heart and try to respond to that. I did recently have a course contact me after I wrote a review for them, and I was a little nervous because I actually had included something slightly negative about it, so I thought they were contacting me to address that somehow. But the head pro there actually said, "Hey, we really appreciate your feedback. We see that you've frequented our course quite a few times, and next time you come down, let us know ahead of time, and you'll be our guest, you and 3 friends." So that was really nice. It felt good to see the hard work paying off, and it's hopefully more opportunities like that come up, and GolfAdvisor has more weight for when I go and play.
That's really cool. Now, Tiger, he's my man. I'm his biggest fan. You had the chance to see him play. So what was it like watching the big cat play competitively?
It was when I was up in Northern Virginia. He hosted a tournament up there, the AT&T National at the time in Bethesda, Maryland. And this was back in 2013, I think was the first year I went to that. got to see him play. So 13 was a good year for him. He was in contention. I think he might have won that year. I'm embarrassed to admit I don't remember, but I do remember watching him play. I remember the closest I got to him was on a green there. I was in the front row, and he was, lining up a putt, and I was close enough that I could see the sweat on his face and the pattern, the texture in his Nike shirt. And all I remember was, I got to get that shirt. I don't care how much it costs. I got to get that shirt. But it was amazing to watch him play. I saw him play down in Wyndham in 2015 when he wasn't having a great year, and to see the crowds around him when he wasn't playing well, I think that told me more about Tiger than anything else that I've seen on TV or anything. It's just the attention that he draws, even when he's not in contention, when he's not winning. It's amazing.
Yeah, he's a special person. He's got just a prowess about him. Like he walks in the room and you can feel it. And
yeah,
there's just something about that.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't tell you this was going to fly by, and it has, but that was just the front nine. So we're going to jump to the back nine now, have a little fun, get a little more less GolfAdvisor, more lifestyle type questions. So you ready for the back nine?
I'm ready.
All right. What is the number one publicly accessible course that's the top of your bucket list? And I might know, basically, we just talked about one that might be up there.
Yeah, I mean, Tobacco Road was the number one, and I got to play that. Next on my list, and I had a chance to play it last year. Unfortunately, because of a certain hurricane, I was not able to play there. But TPC Sawgrass, if you're willing to play in the heat in the late summer, early fall season, I saw a rate for $215, which for that course is pretty amazing. And I had everything lined up ready to go. Actually made it as far as South Carolina because I'm that stubborn and I didn't care that there was a hurricane on the way. But then I found out that they were closing the course, so didn't quite make it there. But that is definitely next on my list.
For what it's worth, we had 145 mile-an-hour sustained winds at Tiburon. We lost 1,700 trees, 1,000 roof tiles, and had 3 feet of water on the golf course. So
yeah, I'm not familiar with hurricanes, but after that, I'm going to be a little bit more wary about heading towards the path of a storm.
What was funny is we left. I went to stay with my good friend Brandon Stooksbury in Macon, Georgia. The day the storm was literally rocking Naples, I was on the golf course. We played 18 holes of golf at his club, and I'm like, that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So, what is the most you've ever paid for a round?
That would be Tobacco Road. I paid $30 plus another about another $120 overall for the caddy there. If anyone goes there, highly recommend. If it's your first time, get a caddy. I know it's a lot of extra money, but you're not going to look like an idiot asking where to aim on every single hole because there's so many blind shots. Get a caddy; it will make the experience so much better for you. But that's the most expensive one that I've played.
All right, you look young enough to have an answer similar to mine. What's your favorite golf movie?
Thought about this a lot. Actually, didn't take long to think about this. It is the greatest game ever played. I've seen it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know you're not the biggest fan, but that's my favorite.
It's good, but it's no Legend of Bagger Vance. I mean, ever made.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Bagger Vance was all right. I mean, it definitely had the star power for that one, but I like the story and the cinematography in Greatest Game. So I gotta go with that. I gotta say I'm hoping there's another golf movie that comes out here that just blows everything out of the water. Someone can put some good money into a golf movie. I'd like to see that because
Tin Cup is probably that, I think.
Yeah, but how many years ago was Tin Cup? I know I'm young.
I get it. Tommy's Honor. Have you seen that? That wasn't that.
I have seen that. Yeah, I saw it in theaters. I need to see it again because I was a little underwhelmed based on the previews. But you've been talking a lot about it, so I'm going to give it another shot and give it another watch here soon.
When you watch it again, keep in mind they did not film any of that at the old course, which is really cool. Like you would never know that they were not on the old course filming. So
okay.
So when you're approaching the first tee, this was a big thing at the Zurich Classic. What's your walk-on music?
I don't really listen to music on the course. I tried doing that once recently, and all I could do was either listen to music or play golf. I can't multitask like that. But I'm when it comes to music, I like a lot of like movie soundtracks. Like that's what gets me going is like the music that you listen to on the movie trailers, stuff like that. So Hans Zimmer and those type of composers. That's what really gets me going. It's kind of a unique genre of music, I guess. But I don't need a big beat or lyrics to get my blood flowing.
Dig that. What's your favorite PGA Tour major?
That would be the British Open, the Open Championship. Yeah,
That's
yeah, I know everyone wants to say the Masters, and the Masters is fresh in our memories, and it was really good. But what I love about the Open Championship, because I haven't attended any of these majors before, the fact that it comes on at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I can wake up early and turn it on, and there's major golf right there. Because I typically have to work during the day. I don't get to see a lot of golf if it's on in the afternoon. So to wake up early and you get Scott Van Pelt and that just the aura of British links golf. I love links courses. I love the courses that they play there. It's just a different feel. It's more raw, and you get to see the pros struggle, I think, more than at any other of the majors. In a different sense, at least with the weather and the playing conditions. So I love that about the British.
That's awesome. What golf ball are you currently playing?
So I've stockpiled a lot of cheap balls because my handicap is coming down, but I'm still at the point where I don't want to be losing $4 golf balls in water hazards every time I play. So again, value-minded person here, Top Flight Gamer. They are the cheapest 3-piece golf ball on the market. You can get them at Dick's Sporting Goods. That's my cheap ball, but I really like the Chrome Softs. So I picked up a dozen when they were on sale over Christmas. So I usually play like one of those when I'm feeling good about not losing golf balls. And I'm probably going to be playing the Super Softs here shortly when my Top Flights dry up.
I'm assuming that Chad and Harry are watching this. So the guys at Callaway, if you're watching this, send this guy some golf balls.
Yes, please. I'll take any free Callaway golf ball.
That's awesome. You haven't been playing for long, but your handicap's coming down. Have you ever had an ace?
I have had, in my book, I count it as an ace. Most people won't because it was on a temporary green, so it was not a regulation size cup. I argue that the ball did go in the center of the cup, so it doesn't matter what size it was. But it was with a 9-iron at Sewell's Point Golf Course in Norfolk, Virginia, back in 2011, 127 yards, and it was pretty awesome. But I'm not counting it officially. I'm still waiting for my official one, and it hopefully will come someday.
That's awesome. Now let's go back to Tiger real quick.
Yeah,
be careful how you answer this, because we became quick friends here, and I like following you on Twitter, and based on how you answer this will depend on whether I shut my laptop or not. I'm kidding. Do you think he breaks Jack's record? Why or why not?
I do not think he will break Jack's record.
Kidding.
No, I just and it's the same reasons that you've heard in interviews with everyone else. I mean, there's so many good young players that are coming up, and there's nothing to say that we're not going to see even more players coming up from high school and college and the Q School and Web.com series right now that aren't going to be able to contend right away. And there's just so much good competition out there. But you know what? Tiger has defied the odds and silenced the critics so many times in his career. It would not surprise me if he did it just to spite us all of us doubters. And I thought it would unquestionably be the greatest single individual athletic achievement we've ever seen.
Oh, I don't want him to tie it and then not break it.
Right.
Either break it or just stop winning and retire.
The worst thing he can do is win like 2 or 3 more. I think that's the worst thing that happens.
If you're gonna win another one, you gotta break the record. Don't keep teasing me. Either break it, don't tie it.
Yeah.
And your final question of your hashtag Wednesday match play. Thanks for coming on the show, man. This was so fun. I would never have gotten all of this from 140. Well, it's not 140 characters now. Twitter regular character limit.
My thread, my 5-piece thread. Yeah, yes. Exactly.
What's next?
Next is I really want to get to single digits for my handicap. I do want to get to the 100 golf courses played. I'm at 83 reviews on GolfAdvisor, so I also want to break 100 there this year as well, which I should be done by mid-summer with the amount of golf that I've been playing. But hopefully another bucket list course and breaking. I've already broke 80 on a par 70 course, but getting that handicap down, maybe shooting 75. Those are all goals of mine, and looking forward to doing that, and keep going with GolfAdvisor.
Dude, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. This episode is going to live on YouTube. It's going to be on iTunes. It's going to be on Google Play. It's going to be on Facebook and Twitter and Google Plus, and it's all over. If you need to find this episode, it's very easy to find. So, Ben, I hope that I, one, get you to come down to Naples, whether it's for 99 and 100 or not. I still want to tee it up with you and play some golf. It'd be really fun to do that. I should do that more often. Get more guests of the show to tee it up. That'd be a lot of fun. But thank you so much for coming on the show, man. It's been really fun getting to know you. And as always, on the hashtag Wednesday Match Plays, you have to remember to eat, sleep, golf.